you don't necessarily have to squat ass to grass and put your L4 and your L5 at risk every single time you lift. Day two, it's leg day. It's always leg day on Tuesday, but some really cool things I want to do today is get a lot of clips of me training so that you guys can check those out, and then we're going to do a voiceover while I'm doing the exercises, because my hope is that by me showing you how to execute these exercises, you'll then be able to incorporate that into your own training, which will then allow you to train in a safer fashion, train in a smarter fashion, and still be able to completely demolish your musculature, whatever that is, whether it be your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your calves, whatever those things are. So that's the main objective for today, is just to create some more awareness around training, just to show you guys a little bit, use a few key terms that I really think are going to help you guys out in regards to being able to fully squeeze and contract muscles from origin to insertion. I notice that a lot of people either squat in a manner that will eventually catch up to them long term, and I want to show you guys how to potentially try to avoid that. Yes, I used to be a power lifter. Yes, I used to lift super heavy weights, try to squat ass to grass on every rep. Yes, I was there. But in today's video, what I want to show you is that you don't necessarily have to squat ass to grass and put your L4 and your L5 at risk every single time you lift. I also want to show you guys a different way on how to perform an RDL, as well as abduction, as well as kickbacks, and how to create that rounded glute illusion, which is obviously training your glutes in three specific ways, which is activating glute maximus, glute medius, and glute minimus. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, hang out, stick around. Voiceovers coming up right after this. Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks so much for checking out this lower body leg day video. My intention with this is to provide you guys some helpful tips and tricks that you can utilize on your lower body days as a means to better help you squeeze and contract your muscles, leading you to make more gains. So as you can see here, our first exercise is going to be the lying hamstring curl, but you could see from the video that I posteriorly activated everything first. So my glutes, my hamstrings, it was all activated before I actually started to engage in the exercise by putting my hips into hip extension, not hip flexion. Learned that from my good friend Christopher Barakat, and ever since I learned that tip, guys, I've been trying to apply it to everything. So what we're doing here is we're actually starting out with some hamstring and quadricep activation before we actually get into our big lift, which is the squat. You can see here what I'm trying to promote to Gillis is to actually drive his patella as far back as he can to take advantage of completely shortening his quadricep muscle from origin to insertion, which will create more tension on the muscle before we get into these lovely things, the squat. Everybody's favorite exercise. So I have a love-hate relationship with squats, and part of that is because I used to be a power lifter, but the way that I used to squat was so much different than the way that I squat now, because over the last 10 years I had to learn how to squat more efficiently to help preserve my lower back. Powerlifting ultimately taught me a lot. Mainly what it helped me to do is be very aware of my body from an anatomical perspective, instead of just trying to load my body with as heavy a weight as possible and just go through the range of motion with that weight on my back. You guys can see here, I am with every single rep, intentionally breaking at my knees first, locking everything in, breaking at my knees first, and overloading my quads. I am not trying to use my back at all, for the reason of this. What I noticed through powerlifting, the way that I used to do it specifically, which is with a low bar position and really overloading your spinal erectors and your glutes, was that over the course of time, what happens every time you squat ass to grass in that low bar position and you have the infamous butt wink, is that your pelvis actually rotates under your body, and then every time you go to transfer energy through the earth, through your legs, through the bar, you are forcing your pelvis to jam directly into L4 and L5, which will typically lead most powerlifters with lower back injuries. Do you guys know any powerlifters who have ever squatted for years and years on end with pretty bad form and not gotten injured? I don't know very many of them either. But what I can tell you right now is that we're getting back in the groove. We are getting back in the training groove with this exercise. I am just feeling so good with this exercise now that I've taken the time to go backwards, improved my thoracic spine strength through a ton of hyperextensions, and now we're back in the game. Now we're back in the game, we're squatting. Something else that you guys are going to be very aware of here as you're watching me squat is that my knees are traveling outward on every single rep, and I'm never allowing them to ever cave in. If you guys consider how to activate the glute medius muscle, which we can always activate the glute maximus when we're squatting, but few people know how to activate the glute medius. Ideally, what you want to do here is externally rotate your knees. And anytime you externally rotate your knees, your glute medius is activated. The glute medius basically wraps around the upper portion of your glutes, and that can give you, especially you ladies, that nice rounded sculpted upper glute region that I know a lot of you are trying to go for, specifically in the NPC bikini division. So here we are working with our working weight today. I worked up to 250 pounds for 3 sets of 8. Obviously we're here playing around with some cool camera angles, but guys, I'm telling you, these squats really felt so amazing. And you guys can see here that I am under complete control of the eccentric with a strong concentric phase on every rep. Again, knees externally rotating out, knees tracking over the toes at all times, making sure that all of the stress, again, bending at the knees, all of the stress is on my quads. I don't want that stress anywhere else. And I can actually squat now without my back being demolished the next day. To be quite honest with you guys, I don't even feel it in my back anymore. We can talk all about why I stopped powerlifting in another video, but right now let's focus on the Bulgarian split squat. So any of you bodybuilding fans out there, you guys saw the way that I set this up. I set this up with the intention for it to look like a back double bicep pose because I really want to put more tension on my posterior chain. Now with that exercise, you're going to notice that I had a block under my foot. Main reason for that is because I had to make the machine fit knee. So what I did was I put a block under my foot to get 1 extra inch of depth so that I could get 1 extra inch on that extreme portion of the range of motion. Next exercise on deck was the seated hamstring curl, where we tried to purposely lean forward to stretch the posterior so that therefore we could apply more tension throughout the range of motion in the extremes. And obviously here we are having a little fun in the gym, ran into some friends, ran into some clients, and took advantage of the opportunity to try to teach them, which is always a blessing to be able to do so. Here's another tip. So in regards to supersetting abduction and adduction, something that I like to really do on the adductor machine is elevate my feet. Now what I feel when I do this is a complete isolation of the sartorius muscle. So next time you guys try this machine, go ahead and give this a whirl, and also make sure that you are squeezing, contracting on every single rep. Alright ladies, here we go. So those of you who have ever wondered how you get that nice rounded upper glute area, you guys can see I have my hands right on the glute medius, and I'm really trying to overload this exercise. I'm really trying to overload it there. That's how you isolate your glutes. Anytime your femurs go away from the midline of your body, you are 100% isolating your glute medius. The glute medius muscle is required to be able for your femurs to actually abduct away from your body. Next exercise, we are having the RDL. So something to consider on this exercise, guys, is that you don't have to go all the way down to the floor. Again, this is not a lower back exercise. This is a hamstring exercise. So the range of motion is going to be different for each individual. But what I can tell you is that I would recommend you going down to a full stretch of the hamstring, not your lower back, and squeezing and contracting your hamstrings and your glutes on every single rep. Again, using your body to remain in control. All right, here we go. So this is Amanda. So this is the gal who commented in our team Facebook page about how do you get that rounded glute look? How do you activate your upper glutes? So what we talked about here was abduction of the knees. That's why she has that band around her knees and she's trying to forcefully engage her glute medius on every single rep. We also had a breakthrough moment where Amanda actually learned how to turn on her glutes right at the top, getting a really good squeeze. And that cue for her, which could be a cue for you, is to basically take your butt and think about driving it through the barbell on every single rep. And you can see she's doing that right there. That's how you activate the glutes with the band around your knees with abduction occurring. That concludes today's workout at Powerhouse Gym Athletic Club with my man Gillis. Guys, that was a full lower body day. If you guys like this video, please feel free, give it a thumbs up. Tomorrow, I believe we have a shoulder and arm day coming, I think, but I'll see you guys tomorrow in another video. Hopefully these tips help you in your lower body training. Have a great day, everyone. My name is William Grazione, the head coach of metabolicevolution.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video.